Meta just rolled out the new algorithm, Andromeda. And now every so-called expert tells you to test more and more creatives. But that's exactly why you're stuck. Hi, my name is Charlie, and I've spent over $1 billion on Facebook ads. And I help anyone running ads on Meta scale brands, drive leads, and make a lot more money. In this video, I'm going to show you why creative testing has never been about finding more winning ads, and how to build a simpler system that makes scaling a lot easier. To really get started, we first have to understand what an ad really is. Every piece of content, whether it's paid or organic, is its own web page on the site of Facebook or Instagram. And social media is basically just a Google search results page with content they think you'll like. For every piece of content, Meta is tracking loads of things, but what you really need to know is they give every ad a score based on how likely someone is to engage with your content, how likely someone is to click on a link, how long they stay on your site, and what actions they take when they do click on that link. And every new ad you launch starts at 0. Now, when Meta's trying to test a brand new ad, it doesn't just show it to anybody. It wants every ad to have a consistently high score, so that users have a consistently good experience. So they show it to the people most likely to engage and click and do things on your site. And inherently, those people are at the bottom of your marketing funnel. The problem is, every new ad tested there steals attention and spend from the proven ads that were already working, even if they're in a different campaign. The success of every new ad in testing essentially comes at the expense of an older one that was already proven to do a good job, which makes that previous ad look worse. This is what is often labeled as ad fatigue. Old ads look worse over time, according to attribution, because new ads steal the sale at the 11th hour. And because all of the ads are launched at the bottom of the funnel doesn't grow, your results are less incremental, and customer acquisition costs continue to climb. So then, the experts tell you to launch new ads, more and more of them, faster and faster, just to effectively maintain the funnel that's already there. So you spend time and money working harder and harder to basically make growth more difficult. And if you want to make a lot more money, well, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. Now at this point, I want you to know that I hear you. You are screaming at the screen right now. But Charlie, what about creative diversity? Creative diversity is not just spamming the machine. Andromeda was built specifically because too many people were spamming the machine, and it penalizes anyone that does that. True creative diversity simply means you have enough ads that speak to enough people in enough different ways and moments so that every impression gives someone a good experience. That's it. And you don't need 100 ads to do that. A handful will do, as long as they each do something different and work together. The best way to think about this is like the Olympic rings. 5 rings, all connected. The 3 rings on top are your prospecting ads, the ones that help you find new people. Maybe one of them is a UGC video that feels personal. One is a testimonial that builds trust. And one is a demo that shows how your product works. Then there are 2 rings on the bottom, your retargeting ads. These are reminders. They speak to people who already saw your other ads and just need a little nudge or an extra reason to come back, maybe overcome some objection. 5 ads, that's it. Not hundreds, not spammy chaos, just a small team where every ad has a role, and they all work together to give people a better experience. And none of them have to be perfect or even the best possible at their position. All that matters is that your investment portfolio of complementary ads are sustainable and good enough to increase the budget. When you build your account like this, the machine doesn't get confused, it gets smarter. These ads don't fatigue, they improve with more data. And you can spend your money faster, smarter, and more profitably, because now Meta actually understands your business. It knows who to show your ads to and in which order. The CMO of Meta, Alex Schultz, in his new book, Click Here, tells us that when Zuck is talking about personalization, he's not talking about each individual ad. He's talking about the collective experience of all content, organic and paid. So all of this forces a very surface level question. So when should we test? And how do we do it? Well, to start, if you can increase your budget, don't test new ads. It's really that simple. If your system is stable, your results are solid, and every time you raise your budget, your performance holds, the absolute worst thing you could do is launch new ads. Because you've already solved the most important problem. Can I spend more money? If the answer is yes, don't go looking for new problems to fix. You've already won. But if the answer is no, what if you can't raise your budget without everything breaking? That's when creative testing actually matters. And this is where we use something called the scientific method. It's simple. You have a control. The system you already know works. Even if it doesn't work, good enough. And then you test one variable at a time to see if it makes the whole thing better. That's what creative testing is supposed to be. A way to make a small improvement to get back to where you can say yes again. So instead of launching hundreds of random new ideas, you look at your Olympic rings, your 5-ad system, and you ask, which one of these isn't doing its job? Then that's the weak link you focus on. You test to strengthen the part that's slipping, not steal and weaken the part that already works. Because testing isn't about chasing winners. It's about keeping the system strong enough to scale. That's how the best advertisers grow. They don't guess. They don't throw spaghetti at the wall. They don't spam the platform. They run experiments one variable at a time. And every experiment answers the only question that matters. Can I spend more money tomorrow? If the answer is yes, you raise your budget. If the answer is no, you test carefully, deliberately until it is. That's the scientific method. That is creative testing done right. Now, remember earlier when I told you that creative testing has never been about finding more winning ads? Here's why that's so important. A single winner can't scale because one ad, no matter how strong it looks in the dashboard, can't carry the weight of the whole system for infinite growth. Sure, you can find one that crushes it. It drives conversions, looks amazing in attribution, and for a while, it makes you feel like you've cracked the code. I've personally have had ads that go and take an account from 200 a day to 2 million in 6 months. Under Outfit famously went from 50 grand a month to $1 million a week, and a large part of that growth was on the back of one ad. But it didn't exist alone. And eventually, it stopped working. Because here's the thing, when you try to scale on the back of one ad, everything falls apart. Why? Because that winning ad was never built to hold the weight of an entire account. It's one player, not a team. And that's exactly what happens inside of most ad accounts. I'm totally guilty of this myself. Advertisers chase another winner, and then another, and another, making all other ads look worse. Running ads is a team sport. A winning ad can only really do one job exceptionally well. And every ad should have a specific role on the team. Michael Jordan on his best day isn't gonna beat a full basketball team. Messi, as great as he is, isn't winning a match against 10 players and a goalie all by himself. You don't score more points by putting 2 quarterbacks on a football field. The way you win is by having a team of complementary players, each built to do a specific job, all working towards the same goal, consistent and profitable growth. That's what Meta rewards, and that's what Andromeda was built for. Clarity, consistency, and a system that can win again and again. The brutally honest truth is that Meta doesn't care how clever your ads are. And the real definition of success isn't vanity metrics like ROAS or CTR or CPA. It's saying yes to the simple question, can you spend more money tomorrow? If the answer is yes, you're winning. If it's no, then it's not your ads that are broken, it's your system. Fix that and everything else gets easier. That's how you make Meta work for you, not the other way around. And if you want to know exactly how to take this system and scale your business to the moon without breaking the account, that's exactly what I'll show you in this next video. And remember, simple scales, complex fails. And until next time, I'll see you on the internet. Bye.